Hello everyone. So for this video I want to quickly talk about a subscriber reward that I personally am really excited about. Now it's also one that I'm eligible for and one that I'm not sure a lot of people will be eligible for. It's basically where if you were subscribed from January to August 11th, so you have to stay subscribed the entire time, not a single day you went unsubscribed. You have to stay in subscriber status, you will get access to a bonus mission. Now, in this bonus mission, because remember, this is after Knights of the Fallen Empire, the 16 chapters have been released, and majority of players will have completed them. They will release an HK55 bonus chapter. Now, in this bonus chapter, you actually get to play as HK55, and you're on a specific mission, and yeah, you get to play as him. Now, I want to quickly talk about that, my thoughts on it, and what's some information I know about it. So, guys, I will mention when I'm about to do spoilers, but some of the information has been data mined, and I will be talking about that. So before I get into that, I will be sure to mention spoiler alert, and anyone who doesn't want to know anything about the chapter before playing it, then you're probably going to want to click off the video then. But before I get into that, I just want to express a quick concern. They mentioned that we're actually playing as the HK55 himself, and that's one thing that I'm really excited about. However, I'm hoping that they'll make it interesting where we have new gameplay mechanics, new abilities, like abilities that are specific to HK55, because that would be super cool. And I'm really hoping BioWare steps up their game and does that, because that would be a bonus mission and a subscriber reward that would actually be good. Considering the other subscriber rewards are pretty lame. I think the only good subscriber reward was the HK55 jetpack, which basically gave all my Lobby characters a jetpack, which I thought was cool. But there was no other subscriber reward where I was like, yeah, it's really worth subscribing. I just subscribed to the game because I have a YouTube channel. If I didn't have a channel, I don't think I would actually be subscribed to the game. But what I enjoy most is making YouTube videos and giving tips and tricks, and that's the only reason really I stay subscribed. But however, and keep in mind this is a huge subscriber reward. Like staying subscribed from January to August 11th is a tremendous amount of money, and so if they're trying to use the subscriber reward as somewhat of an incentive, they have to make it really good. So I really hope they don't chicken out and do that. And one way that I think they might be not making it as good as it could be is if because keep in mind, one of the subscriber awards were HK55 weapons. So they give you a sniper rifle, a blaster pistol, a vibro sword. So it would really suck if just you played as your own character with all of his abilities, and then you just have like, if you were a Sith, let's say, then you would have the vibro sword, but you'd still do just generally your same abilities. Or if you were a sniper beforehand, then you would just play HK55 with the sniper rifle. So I'm interested to see how they're going to work that. I really hope you have HK55 specific abilities. And if you do, I'm wondering, do we get to choose whether we want to play HK55 with a vibro sword, or do we get to choose if we want him with a blaster, or is he going to be with a standard blaster? I don't know. It's going to be really cool to see what goes on with that. But I just, yeah, again, I'm going to say I just really hope they do a really good job and make it a really interesting bonus chapter, because that would also be great content for my channel. Because as I said, not many people are really going to have access to this. This isn't just a subscriber reward where if you become subscribed to a certain amount of time, if you were subscribed before a certain date, then you would get the reward. Like, this is for just players who were loyal and stayed subscribed that entire time. And so yeah, I'm really excited about that. Now I will get into the spoiler stuff. This is all data mined information, so if you don't want to know anything about the chapter, please just click off the video now, because this is going to contain some spoilers. They're not heavy spoilers, you don't get the whole story ruined for you, but it's just some information that's out there right now. So basically, as what it says up here is the main story will contain 9 cutscenes. So not very long. As you guys can see, it's going to be a pretty short bonus chapter. It is based around the Shroud. So if you guys don't know who the Shroud is, it was a quest line in Makeb after the well, not after, but it was basically after you finished the Rise of the Hutt Cartel. It was a macro binocular heroic mission, heroic 4 mission, and it was where you encountered the Shroud, who was this kind of rogue spy who wanted to bomb Cass City using a dreadnought. And so the whole mission is you're trying to stop him. So obviously the Shroud guy is pretty hardcore. He's a terrorist spy type person, and he's going to be what this main storyline is based around. The appearance of the Shroud looks unchanged, so it's basically he's going to look the same, probably have the same characterization and whatever. So the premise of the story is that, remember, HK55 sacrificed himself in the Knights of the Fallen Empire storyline, where he was basically kind of blown up using Force Lightning, and he had explicit instructions not to be revived. However, he was revived, and probably he was revived by the Shroud. The Shroud probably remade him And so the premise of the story is he wakes up in a very strange place, doesn't know what's going on, and then the story is him finding out who has remade him and for what purpose. Okay, so he's also trying to find a way to escape and signal the Alliance because once again he is on your side, he's against the Cool and everything. That's just in his programming, so that's what it's basically going to revolve around. One other thing that I'm really interested to see is his characterization. Do we get to make choices? Is he just a droid? Are we going to have some hardcore choices to make? This is only 9 cutscenes, so obviously it's not going to be some deep characterization and we have to make these really impactful choices. But I don't just want to be a droid who makes these lame just this lame conversations that don't really change anything. Because keep in mind, HK55 was very popular among people because of his wit. He made a lot of jokes. He was a very interesting character, even though he was just a droid. So I do want to see that kind of stuff be incorporated into the dialogue, and if it is, that would just make this chapter a lot better. In terms of some characters that will be appearing, obviously HK55, you're going to see HK55 show up. The Shroud, Lana Beniko, Theron Shan, they'll all be in there. You obviously have some of the main mobs who you're going to have to kill. You have the Shroud Security Guard, Shroud Security Captain, Shroud Security Droid. So obviously the main antagonist is the Shroud, and he's got all this security and stuff, and those are the mobs you're just going to be cutting down as you keep going through the story. You also have Hilo Viz, and then there's a bunch of other characters who there's no point in saying their names because they haven't been released yet. You won't really know who they are because they're going to be released during that storyline. So that's kind of the information that's out there right now, and those are my thoughts on it. I think it's a really cool concept. I know maybe a lot of people might be angry about it because they're like, why is it now just being exclusive to subscriber reward? I mean, it is a subscriber reward, and Bioware obviously wanted to incentivize people to stay subscribed for that certain amount of time. Although I would have expected they would do a little bit more advertising or a little bit more promotion of it, because I don't think a lot of people really knew about it, but I only heard about it just by chance, and then I was like, oh wow, I'm actually subscribed for that time. Okay, great, I'll be able to have access to the chapter. So yeah, that's the information that's out there. That's what I think about it. I think it's going to be awesome. I really hope Bioware makes it even more awesome than I think it's going to be, because that would be really cool. And as I said, great content for my channel as well. So for those of you who were subscribed for that time period and will have access to the chapter, I do hope you're as excited about it as I am, and I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing it, and I will be uploading those videos to my channel. I can't wait till it comes out, because even though the subscriber period technically runs out by August 11th, I'm not sure when they're gonna release the chapter. It doesn't mean they're gonna release it right then. It might take some time, but I do hope they release it really soon, because I'm excited to play it. I'm excited to see what goes on there, because one thing I liked about Knights of the Fallen Empire was it dabbled with changing gameplay mechanics. One really cool thing that I remembered was when you can choose as the Sith warrior to accept Valkorian's power, and if you accept Valkorian's power, then in that one fight that you were fighting, you got like 3 or 4 new abilities, and I just thought that was so cool because it was like a boss fight. You were fighting a bunch of mobs, and you got to use all these cool Valkorian overpowered abilities. And that was just one example of a gameplay mechanic change that came with Knights of the Fallen Empire that I really loved. Now, like, I want to see more of that in the story. That just enhanced the experience, you could say. Made you feel like you were really powerful, because that's what you were supposed to feel like as a character. You just accepted Valkorian's power. You should be more powerful than you already are, and that's what it made you feel like. So I really hope they start incorporating those types of gameplay mechanics, not just in this bonus chapter because we're playing as a droid and they have to, but in other storylines that come to follow. So that's the video, me just rambling on about my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.